While there certainly are some people out there who would not care to have a Lucrehulk, from what I've seen, the vast majority of LEGO Star Wars fans would love to get their hands on an official LEGO Star Wars droid control ship. And I mean, that's pretty understandable, right? This is a really, really awesome design, and it's basically the Death Star of the Phantom Menace, making it pretty dang iconic in its own right. And with all that, you kinda have to wonder, why hasn't LEGO capitalized off of this yet and made a Lucrehulk set, and, well, when exactly will they make it? It is quite a befuddling pair of questions. But in an extreme stroke of coincidence, that's exactly the pair of questions that this video aims to answer. Part 1, why don't we have one already? And Part 2, when might we expect to see one? By the end of this video, you'll be able to preach a 5-hour sermon to all your friends about a LEGO Lucrehulk. They'll love you for it! So without further ado, here are the reasons why LEGO hasn't made one yet. Perhaps the most surprising time that we didn't get a Lucrehulk was the original 2 or 3 years of the LEGO Star Wars theme as a whole. If you look at the set lineups for these years, pretty much half of all of them were Phantom Menace based. Which makes sense. The entire Star Wars cinema back in the day consisted of 4 movies, and the Phantom Menace was the most relevant one. It's just interesting that none of them were the Lucrehulk, considering that it was the big bad guy ship of that most relevant movie. But it kinda does start to make sense when you consider what LEGO Star Wars was at the time. It was still in its early stages, and back at this time, LEGO was not really marketing to adults as much as they do today. The primary audience was kids. And the main play feature of any LEGO ship is the swooshability. Take a look at the shape of the Lucrehulk and look me directly in the eye and tell me that that is a swooshable ship. Maybe you could make it fairly swooshable today, but come on, not with the 1999 pieces. A Lucrehulk from the earlier years of LEGO Star Wars would have had to have been a display set of some kind. And while the LEGO group certainly was making some larger adult display sets back in the day, considering the way that said adult fans reacted to the prequels, a Lucrehulk would not have done well at all. In the following years, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith came out, and sets based off of those took center stage. And while there certainly were Lucrehulks in those 2 movies, they did not have quite so much of a spotlight on them as they did in The Phantom Menace, and so they fell by the wayside. It wouldn't be until the release of The Clone Wars that the Lucrehulk started to take center stage again. But then again, that was only in a few select Clone Wars episodes, and if LEGO was going to do any CIS cruiser, it would have had to have been a Munificent, since they're just so much more common and prevalent in the Clone Wars. I've already done an entire other video about why LEGO never made a Munificent, so I won't hash it out again here, but I'll put this on the end screen if you're interested at all. But after that golden era of LEGO Clone Wars, Disney acquired the Star Wars franchise and started that endless content treadmill that we all know and love today. Basically, LEGO Star Wars had no room to breathe because they had so many things to keep up with. Which is pretty much the situation that we find ourselves in today. And so, considering the current state of LEGO Star Wars, when will we finally see a Lucrehulk? Well, in the more recent years, we have started to see LEGO get some more room to breathe. Whether it be long-desired original trilogy concepts or some more niche ideas from the Clone Wars, even managing to slide a UCS Venator into the mix. Although a lot of these breath of fresh air type of sets have come from one of 2 places. They have either been driven by absolutely insane fan demand and fan campaigns for certain sets or minifigures, or they are the results of major anniversaries, as is the case with a large part of the LEGO Star Wars lineup this summer. So I see 2 chain of events that could lead to a Lucrehulk in LEGO form. The first and fastest way that we could see a Lucrehulk is if some of the bigger names in the LEGO Star Wars community start talking about a Lucrehulk like they talked about a 501st Battle Pack, or a Phase 2 Cody, or even a UCS Venator. Because let's be real here, large LEGO Star Wars social media personalities are called influencers for a reason. They have the power to significantly influence LEGO Star Wars opinions and even demand for certain sets. I am definitely not saying that if you have any of these opinions for yourself that you were bamboozled or fooled into believing the way that you do. I'm just saying that influencers do have an unproportional amount of power in being able to draw attention to flaws or positive things about sets, and even create demand for those sets. So if a Lucrehulk can get a lot of buzz around it, like we have seen with other sets in the past, then I think that we could see a Lucrehulk come in as soon as 2026 as either a Playscale set or a UCS set. However, if there isn't that kind of a buzz, and if there isn't like any new media that significantly features a Lucrehulk, then I think that a UCS Lucrehulk for the 30th anniversary of the Phantom Menace in 2029 would be almost a lock. I mean, they're gonna do it sometime. It is a very well-liked ship. And every once in a while, they just throw one of those very well-liked ships at us out of the blue, and what better time to do that with the Lucrehulk than for the 30th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. It just seems sensible, and after a UCS Venator, it doesn't seem as far-fetched anymore, so I'm willing to say that by 2029, we should have a Lucrehulk of some sort. And well, that brings us to the end of this analysis of the LEGO UCS Lucrehulk situation. If you enjoyed the video, please press that like button, and also check out that Munificent video that's on the end screen now, and there's some other stuff on the end screen too for you if you want.